So let's start with this opening with Lady Gaga having her own cookie. She can still give birth.
Why? Someone tell me. Why is Lady Gaga birthing a Jerusalem cricket right here? See the Jerusalem cricket? I pulled out of the Jerusalem cricket. There it is. She is birthing a Jerusalem cricket no matter what anybody says. There is a video of DeAntford, Fatty Fatty Boom Boom, and Lady Gaga is birthing a Jerusalem cricket, which is called a child of the earth.
I mean, either way, if you want to look at it, where
Okay.
Lady Gaga uh, is able to give birth as a dude, literal birth, as in the implant, or the worm that never dies that's attached to you your entire life as a dude. That the spark of life is just um, it's just concealed. Like she can still create life.
A gadfly, an insect, a stinging insect, what will come even according to the scriptures, but you've got to be grounded in the truth. You have to have been converted. Okay, now I hope that's laid out enough of the scenario for you. And Lady Gaga came out with an Oreo cookie that is a bag ripping open because Lady Gaga, the name Gaga, Gaga is 7171. 7171 in the Bible is destruction cometh, a gadfly, an insect, a stinging insect. That's what Gaga means in the Bible. If you know how to read their language.
Who is Justin Michael Sims? January 18th, 1991, 7:30. So Justin Michael's being birthed into the earth as a gadfly from Lady Gaga. What, you shaking in your boots about? Yeah, the ones you're wearing with lifts in them. Instant karma in the Matrix. Everything you think, feel is due is being observed, judged, and measured. Measured at all, reprobates. I would have to say 7171 is referring to um, who is Justin Michael, the gadfly that's being birthed. I mean, look, you said that you're getting ready to roll. That's cool. I mean, either way, I look at it like this. Uh, even if even if you're the Wizard of Oz, even if the Wizard of Oz has been, even if Toto exposed the wizard, and the male and female system
Where
behind it.
Toto pulls back the curtain on the guy that's pulling the levers and pulling the strings, and Toto runs over there and pulls back the curtain as my.
It's a twin system. It's male and female. And then being the wizard pulling the strings is it's one setup with the two twins, and then another setup is also this is what I go through all the time.
Human being. I will be reading today from the Passion Version. Many of you asked me from the very beginning where I got this. It is the Passion Version. I don't know if you can see it. It's a relatively new version. What I do like about this version, and I study from many versions.
Male and female sharing one microphone. Either way you want to look at it, there's there's the king of the north and the king of the south. The angel of the bottomless pit down here, and then the king of the north coming from up there. No matter how you want to look at it, Satan was cast down to the earth. He was kicked out of heaven. You know why he was kicked out of heaven? Because Christ rules in heaven, the spiritual world. Forget about the literal. Forget about what Derek's playing out literally, and what Kleck is playing out literally. The spiritual true meaning of it. This is why This is why, because everything's being played out the same exact way right now. So that's why Christ wasn't. He wasn't taking one side or the other, because what happens here is one side is pulling in this direction, the other side's trying to pull him in that direction. And then once he realized he was trying to be forced to be king, well, when you're forced to be king, that means that in this world here, today, in this world here, you'll have Lucifer will try to convince you that in order to get to heaven, you have to invert yourself. You have to go from male to female. That's quite obvious that that's what it is. But what type of a female? The one where you're going to have where you're just a full woman. You change your entire insides into a full woman. You get the implants, and then you just receive only. And if this implant thing is real, then they implant that into you, and then you can have birth, and then the God is the one that says, I'm going to multiply your pains, or paraphrasing that, giving birth. You're going to, so basically you become a man, and you give birth, 2 men and a baby. Or you conceal your weapon, like the Gadfly. I mean, like Lady Gaga, like Taylor Swift. You conceal it, but remember, this whole race is a serpent eating its own tail. The whole thing circling this entire setup, because this is two different sections of what to do, as this dude here is standing up with his hand over here, and it's concealed, right? But here's what Lucifer will try to convince you to do as the serpent in the garden, because the gardens are over here at these 12 trees, the twin system set up, the Cain and Abel ordeal being birthed in the system, the 12 trees of the healings of the nation, and this 12th one by the tomb got chopped down. I haven't been there in a while to check it out. But what Lucifer wants to convince you is this. You need to get converted in order to go to heaven. You need to do this, you need to do that. You can't do this, you can't do that. You can't drink, you can't smoke, you can't, or you can, but it's in moderate. But there's all these restrictions. The real, true spiritual heaven, there's nothing you can do to get into it. There's no works that you can do. So if you're trying not to do works, it's irrelevant too. Like, I can't drink because I want to get to heaven. I can't take medication because I want to go to heaven. Well, who's telling you that you can't go to heaven if you're on medication, or if you drink, or if you overindulge in something? If you're overindulging in something, you're already not in heaven, because you have a need to overindulge. If you're doing medication, you have medication you got to take for whatever it is. It has nothing to do with going to heaven. Literal heaven up there, the land itself, yeah, I think there's different restrictions. But that's why the fear tactics are out there, because you have to do a certain thing in order to get there, up there, to the prison. So when you go up there to prison, you do this, you're like, oh, thank you, I'm out of here. I don't care. Oh, well, Peter, don't need you anymore. You've been altered, like Saint alters Peter. But then you come to find out after you get cast back down to the earth, oops, oops. And then you realize you got to live out the rest of your life here on earth because the earth is not going anywhere. It's about as ridiculous as saying, well, I mean, if I eat this whole bowl of noodles and my stomach gets filled up and I overeat, am I going to get to heaven? No, you're probably going to feel like a fatty pants when you're done. All this literal interpretation of the Bible, it just got people screwed up, especially when they are part of the inside and they've been taught by Moses laying down the law, the literal law, and so they've been taught these things are literal, and you have to literally be born again. No, you don't have to be born again, as in changing your sex, because here's the thing: Lucifer, again, he'll tell you that you got to get converted, you got to become a woman, you got to become a bride of Christ, you got to literally like get rid of your Peter and invert it. But yet Lucifer concealed his weapon. So you're being lied to, where he himself has only altered the direction of where it went. So now, basically, this is Lucifer here. He still has his junk. It's just hidden inside, up inside, tucked away. He'll tell you, you need to do this. You need to get rid of it. I mean, it's just my understanding right now. Everything I say is just how I see it, how I interpret it, and then how I see them trying to get you to perceive it. So let's talk about what a lie is. 100% no lying. Well, let me ask you this. Is this a lie? Let's say there's Johnny A and Johnny B. Johnny A and Johnny B.
That is
Johnny A and Johnny B. Let's say that there's two people, they're twins, but you don't know that they're twins. You think, like I thought, that when you see the Jonathan Kleck channel appear, that there's just one person. So when you find out that there's two acting as one, and the perception that they are giving you for you to perceive is that it's just the same person, but the reality is there's two different people. Is that a lie? I mean, you're not technically lying, but the perception that you're giving off is a lie. Now let's go over here. When you have one person dressed up as two people and situated differently at the same time but different times, trying to get you to perceive that it's really male and female just hanging out talking, but the perception, I mean, that's the perception, but the reality is it's only one person. Is that a lie? Because are you trying to get people to perceive that, like, let's say if I had a twin and he came on and talked and sounded the same, looked the same, but yet It wasn't me, it was my twin, and I never let anybody know. Am I not trying to have you perceive that I'm just one person when there's multiple people? Well, yeah, if that was true, then I would be lying because it's about perception. Just because the words that come out of your mouth aren't lying, but your actions of what you're concealing is. If you are, let's just say, for instance, if you are if you're born a man, if you're born a man,
Word fire is fire, literally or figuratively, a worm that's attached to you. And that thing feeds off you your entire life. How many times have I told you that? How many videos can you go back and recall that I said?
So if you're born a man, but yet you do a surgery to become a concealed weapon, or the other way around, and then you get some implants, but you're a woman, but you're really not because you were born a man. If you are trying to get people to believe, and that you're trying to get them to perceive that you're a woman when you're not, isn't that a lie? Likewise, vice versa, man to woman, woman to man. If you're trying to get people to perceive that you and your sister are the same people, and you're not trying to get anybody to know that, well, is that a lie, or is it just not voluntary information? And is it up for you to interpret, find out on your own? I remember Johnny said, I, by the power of truth, have conquered the universe. Now, is it truth, or is it just the fact that nobody found out that you're lying? That becomes truth, and then you can conquer the entire universe because nobody found out that you're lying. But this has nothing to do with the people from the inside. Somebody from the outside has to be able to prove that they're lying behind the scenes. So I came over to Global Witness Community. Now I'm not gonna hop over here and record anything that anybody's saying or doing in this platform because it's a paid platform. And when with YouTube, it's like if you want me to work with you over in YouTube, stop giving me strikes and stop suppressing my words. But wouldn't that be something if the person that created this website was the one giving you strikes so you can go and join a platform? I thought of that. I don't have any conclusions, but at the same time, when you're giving me strikes and I still can't get on my main channel because of whatever it is that I'm saying, then my free speech is being suppressed, and I don't appreciate it. And so because I want to stay in contact with people that have knowledge. I don't care if you're Satan or not. Matter of fact, I hope that you are. Because when people are like, it's like, oh, stay away from Satan's. It's Satan. Well, yeah, isn't that who you're supposed to communicate with? Like, isn't that why Christ told Peter he said, Satan, get behind me, Satan. Or, again, paraphrasing, he called Peter Satan. But yet, Christ is going to give Peter the keys to the kingdom? Why would he give Satan the keys to the kingdom? Well, because Satan is the one that, as the top mouthpiece on the planet, whoever that is, whether it's whether it's whether it's him or him.
Today I'm going to show you how to make the most reliable, long-lasting,
Yeah. Today I'm gonna
portable,
show
and
you how
highly
we're gonna
nutritious
chop your,
food in the
you know,
world. It'll
if you
last
don't-
indefinitely without refrigeration,
If
so you can
don't,
easily
you
stock.
know,
You know, the whole
is it him, or her? Is it him, her, or him and her? I don't really care who it is, to be quite honest, because what it truly is, Satan is a spirit that works in the children of disobedience. Just because it's a spirit called Satan and it works in the children of disobedience, it doesn't mean Satan is doing what his minions are doing. You see, Satan entered into Judas. Why? Because Satan knows that he has to get into Judas in order to fulfill Father God's will in heaven, spirit. Satan knows that. That's why Satan is able to
after I hung it
provide
up there.
everything that is necessary for why is that TV off over there? Say after this, I'm not gonna keep coming back here and showing it, but I have 3 friends. I have 3 friends so far. And YouTube I have 504 on the channel that they're letting me upload still from. And then Robin's Hood has 23,600. You know what I just realized as of yesterday is that you can go on your own, you can search your own videos through this. Because when I try to find older videos and I go on YouTube, I got to type in my full name and then hopefully the exact full title, and then it might show up. I just figured this out yesterday. All this time, I could have easily just cross-referenced, gotten to videos a lot quicker than even looking for how I save them on a separate file. For instance, man, all this time, Walmart. There's 12 Walmarts. So, where's the whole title? Anyway, all the Walmart videos are here. Or are they? Oh, the other one was Fmart. There it is. Wall Fmart. Let's see how it's doing today, these days.
Looking.
The main video that caught whoever runs the planet's attention, anybody that has any say in the ability to create platforms,
Vicious.
almost at 3 million people. I never even imagined that. As the wolf walks right by me.
Hungry like a wolf. Not bad. I mean, I like it. I like it.
I like it. Pretty good, Trump. Back on September 13th. And this is the video that when Trump mentioned, I don't know, I guess he's trying to manifest Trump.
Excuse me. Do you know where the juice aisle is?
Juice all the way down into groceries.
Like I'm
Okay, down there?
And take a left.
Down there?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. I need some juice. Uh-oh, ninjas.
You want to
Hey,
read the
are
video?
you a ninja?
See 55 in front of you? Like, I go, 55, go. So you can see my camera, obviously.
They said wear a mask. I won't do it. Oh my God. You know what I forgot? My card. I don't have my credit card. They don't accept cash. Oh man, I'm the president of the freaking United States. I can't even buy juice.
My camera shut off right at that point. I still had more to go. I believe that was when I was talking to the lady. I thought I was still recording for like a half hour. The whole thing shut off. But to watch the videos now, because I would rewatch them afterwards, but it's still fresh in my mind. So when I see them now, I tend to forget like what was going on in there, and it's funnier for me anyway.
When the last of the sand goes through the hourglass, you turn it upside down and time begins again. That's what I said at breakfast. And then after I leave, I'm just not even a block away, about a block away, and I hear the Lord tell me, I want you to go buy a watch because time is going to begin again. And I'm in the car with Corey, and I'm like, and I'm getting ready to blur. Now I know I have to say it out loud. I know I have to commit to it. That's a pretty big step to say something like that. To commit to something like that is a huge step. And I was like, that's just so crazy. And I had just turned this corner and I was like thinking, I've got to commit to saying this now. And right then, Corey blurts out, he kind of commit to it. It's like thinking, I've got to commit to saying this now. And right then, Corey blurts out, he kind of laughs. He goes, it all begins here. And I'm like, I looked at him and I was like, what did you say? Because I looked at him and I was like, what did you say? Because I'm like, what is he reading my thoughts?
Yeah.
Because the Lord just had said, you need to go buy another watch because time is going to begin again. What God could they be worshiping? Who's the serpent? Satan. So they must be worshiping Satan. They sing inside of it to Lucifer. Well, Lucifer is the name of Satan before the fall. Satan, Lucifer, all the same. One's after the fall. This is not hard to figure out anymore, is it? Not with all the available data the Lord's given me. Just take a look at what you're looking at. Lady Gaga at the Shining Spear of God Awards. The Oscar Award means Shining Spear of God. Isn't it odd that the serpent right here has a spear going through a triangle right where her vagina is, and the spear is going right into the mouth of an insect, which is exactly what's going on in the vagina. It means Shining Spear of God. Isn't it odd that the serpent right here has a spear going through a triangle right where her vagina is, and the spear is going right into the mouth of an insect, which is exactly what's going on in the Vatican? The exact same agenda is going on. I mean, try and wrap your brain around that. In the Vatican, the exact same agenda is going on. There's a penis going into the mouth of an insect right here. There's the chair that makes the penis. Here's the whole insect. And here are two girls that just happen to have the same exact tattoo. Because it's true, they're shadow hunters. They hunt you stealthily, and the way they hunt you is
by being a man changing into a woman and straight up concealing your weapon until the guy gets surprised when he's in the bedroom with that person. 2 days ago, Johnny, I said it was Adam Johnny. And then today's Johnny. I know the topic is about where you left off. Where you left off was the Oreo cookie topic. Down here, you said you're gonna make some more videos. I mean, like you're gonna get right back up and keep making it. So that would be you getting back up and making the video again. But if I didn't know better,
the whole trip back home was dependent on this. Watch.
Male and female system, twin system.
Through sex, fornication, adultery, lying, cheating, stealing, all the things that the flesh has to offer that are against the Most High, that angels got trapped in, and that was a way to get them to be completely and utterly destroyed, because you can't destroy God's angels unless they step out of line.
Exactly, you can't destroy God's angels. Period, point blank, end of the story. Unless they fall out of line.
That's why it's called the forbidden fruit.
Definitely forbidden. Center stairs.
It's time now to play for you all the little videos I documented today. Okay, I'm just going to try and... Okay, no. Very seriously. Can you imagine if you were one of my kids in the car and you were in the situation where I was driving to drop them off to see their mom, and I just got through saying, yeah, guys, I think I'm going to take a job from my friend Trey. He offered me $7,000 a month starting. He said he'd move me to $10,000 in 3 months. So I think I'm going to do it.
$7,000 a month, $10,000 a month. That would be nice. But you have to keep working. You have to keep swinging the hammer. You have to keep doing all that for $10,000 a month. Let's see, my bills come to about $4,000 a month, maybe 35 altogether. That would be nice to actually live life and have, like, not have to actually go to work and put anything together, but just do the work on a computer platform. I can see why you guys got really the ones that get paid well. Like, you guys get paid well. Jacob Israel, you've gotten paid well over time. I'm sure you enjoyed your life and had fun, and you seem like a pretty fun guy. But the only thing is, you guys had to stretch the truth. And we're at that point now where it's different. It's about who doesn't stretch the truth. If you don't stretch, like stretching your hours, if you come clean from whatever it is, then you come clean. You get hired. You're still going to get hired. I'm telling you, don't fall into the deception where you think you have to continue to lie in order to make it. The ones from the inside out. I know it's hard to believe that they can possibly go from snakes to to like stepping on the heads of their own snakes, their own snake buddies. Why do you think this whole thing, this whole setup is right here where it shows you the snake eating its own tail wrapped around the entire system, upside and inside out. Because this is also like when when you're standing there and you're a man and everything is lifted up inside of you. That's what this is. It's lifted up inside you. And then at the same time, when you get rid of it and you just completely mail it in, I mean, you absentee it. If you absentee it and you mail it in, then either way you look at it, either way, it's an alteration that has something to do with the spark of life being eliminated, and the mouth of the serpent, and the bug, and the owl, and just everything is there, rising up out of the sea. But I think that you also had to do compromise with something like this in order to get a comfortable job. Like if I don't get what I desire, what I want, I just have to keep working. Like I've always been. I have no problem with it. But at this moment, I feel like there's a better way to live life than to just have to wake up and waste 10 hours of your day, 5 days a week, not having much of any of a life to do anything, go anywhere. You don't have time off. When you take time off, you can't afford that either because your bills aren't going to wait around. And it's just a whole system. Yeah, I did it to myself in a way. I gave my brother some good advice, and I helped him learn what I learned with remodeling apartments and houses. And he's doing his own thing for quite a few years now. And he doesn't even have to work. He said he got enough money to pay his bills for next year. I'm like, man, that's freaking great, man. Because I told him, like, look, what are you stressing about? Do you have enough money to pay your bills for like 6 months? He's like, yeah. Well, then what are you worried? Enjoy your life, man. He's like, yeah, I should. And then he started enjoying his life. I'm kind of jealous, really, but I give all these people good advice now. I can't seem to catch a break myself. But to be able to catch a break is where I don't have to work. And the hard work that I put in, if there's anybody that's filthy rich and you have a heart and you feel like helping people with the currency that you have, hey, I'm all for it. I'm all for it now. Because after almost 4 years of doing this stuff for free, that was the whole point. This was an internship. I didn't even know it. I voluntarily hopped into this platform of surveillance and trickery and sneakery, and I came in as an apprentice, but also as an intern. I literally didn't get paid for any of the work that I did. I just got paid for being a goofball, walking around at Walmart spotting security guards, because I've been a thief most of my life and I know what it feels like to be surveilled. So I can see that. But at this time, it's not about taking money from people and being greedy about it. It's about leaving it in God's hands. Like, this is the part. You leave in God's hands. If there's people that understand your situation and are like, yeah, man, I would hate to be like you right now, but because I don't have to work at all and I got plenty of money like for the rest of my life. And it's nothing for me to just help you out. You helped me out big time, Robin. You got me to stop warring with myself. I had so much money, but I was so miserable. Now I got so much money. I'm so damn happy. I don't even care. Here, you can just here. That is earning it. Being able to do that, you're earning it. Because I did almost 4 years of free work, showing what I've found. Not everybody believes it, but the ones that have. This is why Christ said, "Those who have eyes to see and ears to hear." He's talking to the people that literally can surveil behind the scenes. They literally can hear what you're saying when you're not, when you have nothing recording you. I mean, voluntarily anyway. Those who have eyes to see and ears to hear, they're the ones that can tell. So I know that behind the scenes, there's a gathering of people. They talk, they communicate, they hear, they see, there's an interest over here because of my ability to speak freely. And I mean, what are my intentions? My intentions is to start over with what I've learned on the YouTube platform. So thank you for whoever runs YouTube and for giving me the opportunity, because you could have just shut me down at any point. You could have shut me down so long ago where you didn't have to worry about me exposing anybody. But here's the thing that started to happen. The ones that were getting exposed had mixed emotions, because you're, number one, you're getting exposed. You know it's true, but man, you don't want people to know that. But it's so damn obvious how it's being exposed. But then the respect factor comes in, even though you have hatred towards the person that's doing it, but you love the fact that they can do it. And you get so mixed up and torn between the love and the hate that you've never really experienced before. And then that love takes over the hate, and then you start changing from being such a hater to a lover. And then it becomes more it's like you were doing this at first all tricks and fakery, and then it became real. And then you guys are starting to do it as where the truth is actually mixed into it. So as that progresses, you get more and more interested in it. So what I'm trying to do, what I'm going to do is gather as much knowledge as I can. Remember, my best friend on YouTube that I've proclaimed was Steve, it was Steve at first, and then it was Justin. But as I look at it now, there really isn't a best friend, because everybody has the ability to have the same exact spirit, which is the knowledge of the tree of good and evil. The knowledge of it, not forget about this, taking a bite of the forbidden fruit, the knowledge of good and evil, but having that pure evil inside of you, and then learning how to love after the fact when you got exposed. You hated it, but you loved it at the same time. Because nobody is supposed to know unless you're from the inside. And the ones that are inside, they're the ones that can surveil, and they're the ones that can see it. So they're the ones that have eyes to see and ears to hear. That's why when I push record, it's who I'm talking to. And the audience, it's what I asked for. I asked for an audience. Apparently, it's what the Bible says. So I've gathered a pretty good audience, a pretty big audience. And behind the scenes, there's people that run the YouTube platform, and there's people that know what you can and cannot say and do, knows the entire system from inside out as well, because they came from up there. And then because there's this platform on YouTube, it's free, but when it's free, what you pay for is you pay the price, which is free. So when you go and pay a price, you can pay $1 a month or $10. I just did the 10 because I don't, whatever knowledge I get over here, I'm just gonna let it filter through with what I already know, with what I don't know yet, with what I'm still trying to figure out. I'll let it go through. I'll understand that there's a trust factor and a BS meter. There's a BS meter at all times. I always have that up because of what I learned over here on the YouTube platform. I learned how to discern the trickery that's going on. And it took a little bit of time, but he got a new watch. So when time's up, obviously it's already going to begin again because it's the ending and it's the beginning of us ruling and reigning. Us. That was already a given. We already knew that because that is all that matters in the end. Time to begin again. I've been doing this for free for 4 years. I stretch my hours at work sometimes because I shouldn't have. But I justified it. Because I'm doing so much work on this YouTube platform for free. And then I go to work. And I feel as though if I was a boss of the planet and you had a job that was an hour away, I'm paying you for the time that you get up in your truck and leave to get to work. I'm paying you. The time that you're there, it's only going to be 4 hours. There is no 8-hour work week anymore when I'm in charge because it's such a dreadful feeling. And on top of that, you're getting paid twice the amount that you did. At the very minimum wage, you're going to get twice the amount of money that you did, and you're going to work twice as less. And you're going to get paid from the time that you got to travel to work and the time that you're there. I don't care if you eat a damn lunch. And the time that you, however much time it takes for you to get to work to home, doesn't matter if you don't go to home right away an hour later. It's, you're getting an hour pass up, an hour pass back. And then for 4 hours in that day, you come to work and you go home with twice the amount of pay. And that's it. Like that's exactly what needs to happen on this planet to start with. And it can be done just like that. That's all you gotta do is just make a decision, right? And because what is it that everybody's holding on to? Why is it that people are so power hungry? Because you want more and more people to work for you, right? Well, when you have the ability to create money and print it and draw on it, then it's nothing and you don't need it, and it's a way to motivate people in the world and get them to enjoy their lives. What the hell else? What the frick are we doing here? What are we doing on this planet? Like, I didn't ask to be born. I don't remember. I just appeared somewhere in a hospital 45 years ago almost. And 45 years later, I'm right here talking to the AI device to these people that actually run this freaking planet. And that's what happened. So for those with ears to hear and eyes to see, you're hearing what I'm saying and you're seeing it. I'm showing it to you. In return, I'm not looking to be Johnny's son or anybody's son, and I'm not looking for anybody to be my father either. And I'm not looking to be anybody's father, and I'm not looking for any sons. What I'm looking for are those with eyes to see and ears to hear, and you're doing God's work. Forget God. Forget the dividing who the Father, the God, the this, that, the Lord of heaven, Lord of God, Lord, the God of the earth, the Lord of the earth. When I say God, to me, it's God. It's the same exact God that has created all things for us to create as well. as gods and sons of gods. So I'm not looking for one in particular person to be my guidance, because I found a whole list. I found a whole list of people to get information from. I found the Jonathan Click, Adam and Eve. I found the Global Witness, the witness around the entire globe. You think it's his name is the Global Witness just because? I found Jacob Israel, who is connected as, I would look at it as 1-2, like 1-2. This Jacob Israel is the actor playing for the Global Witness. I found Stephen James DeShawn and Terrell Croft. I found Israeli News Live. See, that's why I found the Jonathan Click and then Jonathan Click. That's why there's two different accounts here. Stephen Ben-Nun and his wife. But as I look at it, I found Steve. I found Justin Michael. I actually met him. It's crazy. I had a desire to go meet him. I found Tyler Mullen, the Vicar of Christ, according to the top Luciferian head gang stalking corporation on the internet, and then some backup channels. I even found Quentin John the Wise, who's one or two things. Either you are so super, you've been like with your belief of a creature, or you're just paid to do it and it's just your job, which is in all likelihood that's what it is. I found a bunch of people that I get my information from. I've been lied to. I've been tricked. I've been deceived. And I'm sure by every one of them. Everyone I have been at one point in time. So to say that I'm trying to pick somebody, I'm not. To pick a side, I understand why you don't pick a side. Because what I'm doing is, if you want me to continue at YouTube, stop giving me strikes. But however, the job that I have, it's interesting how when I took those floorboards, as I'm thinking in my head, well, I already know that Johnny's talking about me lying because his friend is in heaven, his father is in heaven. It's referring to me stretching my hours. I get that part. He called me at work. Like, can you go measure the front door? Knowing damn well that I went to where I'm at. I'm at the art museum, and Charlie calls me on the phone, the supervisor at work. Can you go measure? You know I'm not there, right? Exactly. So the job that I have, as I'm taking the extra floorboards that I wind up offered to pay for, and he said it's just ask next time. I'm thinking in my head, well, I already know you're talking about the hours, so if you say something about this, because I'm already kind of feeling like maybe I should have just asked her. I'm starting to feel like a thief. I'm not trying to steal anything. And then that thought is in my mind, and only I know it's true. And you can either believe it or you don't believe it. But all I'm doing is just, it's like, ultimately I'm talking to myself in the future. So why would I lie to myself in the future? It's about just telling the truth, even if you are stretching your hours. Come clean and whatever. It's over and done with. But when I was thinking, if I hear some kind of connection about this, about stealing something, all right, then you know what? all the way through. Surveillance is at every given single point in time imaginable, even if you didn't imagine it. It is. It's just there. And then I hear about it the next day because the story happened where Charlie came in, the supervisor. Whether one or two things happened, either my boss's other job site got robbed that very morning in order to relay a message to me about stealing extra floorboards, and it happened in, you know, ways that would connect over here, or the other option, which is highly likely as well, is this is the frickin' Truman Show. I didn't realize how many people were in on it, and it seems to be like just about everybody. And so it's time to huddle up, make a story, connect it to what I did to get me to get convicted, and it worked. So thanks. It actually worked. It helped me get convicted so I can come clean. Like, you know what? Forget it. That's all I needed to know at that point in time. Everything else, it's gone. Everything and anything I've ever done in my past from that point on is finished. It's, if anybody's holding on to it, that's your problem, not mine. So in order to be born again, being born again is just being able to come clean with things. It has nothing to do with your sex change at all. Nothing. But if you want to get up here to this heaven, it's a literal land. When you get up there and you see planet Earth, if you want to go up there, then that's like saying, if you're willing to accept it, then John the Baptist is Elijah to come. I can't stop you from believing it. I can't stop you from going up to heaven because you got tricked, even though you're coming back down. All I can do is tell you that that's how I see it, and you either take it or leave it. If you leave it and you go up and then you take it and you come back down, well, I was just looking out for you. And you know it. You know I was telling you the truth. That's all. So if people want to hear the truth, I'm going to keep, no matter what, I'm going to keep doing what I feel like I need to do, specifically for my own spirit. And then whoever else benefits from it, they benefit. But in no way, shape, or form am I going to take one side over the other. Because this is about bringing both sides together. It's about bringing...
Word fire is fire literally or figuratively. Remember?
It's about bringing that and then bringing back together those two black rocks.
Y'all, anyone remember my testimony?
That one, and bringing them together as male and female.
The Bible, and it means
as male and females, the male and female system. And then it's about bringing them together as well. Because I've never heard Johnny talk about Derek, and I've never heard Derek talk about Johnny. I've heard Stephen James talk about everybody. I appreciate that. But I know that certain people they just got to act like they don't know each other, even though this is the highest competition on the planet Earth. I feel like I turned into a referee. Like, I feel like I kind of just stumbled into the ring and the referee got knocked out for whatever reason. And I just happened to be like right there, and I had a whistle, and they're like, "Hey, come here, you want to be a referee?" Like, all right, I don't really know what I'm doing, but all right. And then you just learn. I feel like I'm a referee, and I kind of stepped in. And the only way that you can truly stop anybody in their tracks is by telling them what they actually think in their brain without even saying it to anybody. That's it. Once you can do that, then, you know, you're going to get people's attention. You're going to get their attention because they have the eyes and they're seeing clearly and they're hearing everything that you're doing. So when you see that I hopped over here, you know, like pay attention. Pay attention. Then there may be some talk over here about.
But I keep hearing the Lord saying he wants me on the radio, and then right in the very next breath, right when I say those words, but I hear the Lord saying he wants me on the radio, and right then my daughter goes, "Look, Dad, in Amy's ice cream." Can you imagine within 10 minutes I'm at a different Amy's ice cream, and looking at an Amy's ice cream that's not the same one I saw, and the Lord says, "Go to this Amy's ice cream. I have a message for you." Can you imagine being one of those kids sitting in the car when their dad says, "Wow, this is really wild. I hear the Lord saying, Jonathan, go to this Amy's ice cream. I have a message for you. Go to this Amy's ice cream." He even said, "Pay
$10 a month.
attention." I said it out loud. Pay attention.
So if you want me on the radio, but yet I keep receiving these. You really can't see anything, can you? I keep receiving these community guideline strikes, videos being removed. Who's in charge? I spent a lot of time following Brock Key's footsteps. Strike 2. Don't like what I'm saying, huh? Got the community guideline strike for February 1st. Your content violated YouTube's community guideline strikes. Trump's impeachment 3 days before, they're ready to crucify him, hang him in Logan Square. We know this could be disappointing, but you need to abide by our rules. Your channel now has 2 strikes. You won't be able to upload for 2 weeks. And before that, YouTube, no, copyright, no, yeah. No, it took that down. Yeah. I can't go all the way back. Regardless, keep getting strikes. And I keep getting strikes on my main channel where I can reach more people. I just feel like what needs to happen is people need to be able to talk freely. If you want me to stop mentioning you, and you and you, if you want me to stop talking about you, because I feel like when you're saying that it's collect merchandise, and because I do a lot of videos, but it's not that I'm not even looking to. I didn't care if people are watching or not at this point. It doesn't matter. It's just an audience that you tune into it. It's like I'm a TV show. You tune in or you tune out. You don't have to tune in. I don't get offended if you do or not. It's whatever. Just like when you watch a TV show. And the person that's watching the people that are involved in the TV show, for ratings, people are paid to do things so they can get ratings. If you don't get enough, they shut it down. But this is all for free. So it doesn't matter. What I'm doing the videos for is the things that you're talking about, Johnny, I'm showing you what I understand through what you're saying. Because I know that inside of the brain, just by doing this, being able to figure it out, it does something to your brain and your heart. I don't care how evil any of yous are. When you're able to be told what you're actually thinking and what you're actually doing, like how the things are lining up pretty damn close, and it's true, and because you have eyes to see. I'm just me from the outside looking in. I've been paying attention to you guys for the past 4 years just about, because of everything that you put in the news that made me sick. And I need to find out who was responsible for it. And I know I found the people that are responsible for it. So that's why I talk directly to them, because in my own spirit, I still hear like the whisper of, believe you. Like, you don't want to say these things so people might not believe you. Like other people that are watching the video right now, thinking to themselves, I don't believe him. I think he doesn't. But they see that doesn't matter to me, because ultimately, it's just my own thoughts in my brain saying that. And the more you turn down that volume, the more you just keep talking about what you know. And it helps the brain. Even if you are the biggest serpent on planet Earth, even if you are Satan himself, good, you're supposed to be. I've made a lot of friends on YouTube, and I'm sure that they didn't have the right intentions while I was befriending them, because it showed. It showed over time how that worked out with Matty Yahoo and Derek from A Glop of Truth and Jerry from A Light of Truth and did I say Matty Yahoo and Boldly Poly Roly Polyoly and quite a few others. It worked out that way, where they came to my channel because they were assigned to come over here. I didn't know that this was a thing. I just thought people hop on all the time. I didn't know I hopped on at the perfect time, when you're supposed to be somewhere around 2016, 17 is when you're really supposed to rise up on the social media platform. I thought a bunch of people did the same thing. Now I know that it was a rarity. So what am I looking for? I'm looking to stop wasting my 10 hours a day doing nothing at all just to pay bills. I'm looking to retire for the work that I put in. And if it's worth it to anybody who actually has ears to hear and eyes to see, if it's worth it to you, well, that's why I went over here, because I know that there's a possibility that if I'm down and out and like this World War III thing kicks off and there's no way of getting back and forth to work, but the bills don't stop, but you can't go to work, so it's a way to get you like kicked out. When it comes down to it, I'm sure that I can put in my request, because that's what Derek was talking about. You can put in a request if you're struggling with things. Like once the place is built up, because with my $10 a month, that's going to help somebody like myself as well, who would be down and out. Or if you're really appreciated and people really want to listen to what you got to say, and it helps you to live your life and to be able to focus in on just being settled, relaxed, and this is all you have to do, that's like a dream come true. I don't have to go to work anymore, swing the hammer, waste 10 hours a day. I can just wake up, come in here, hang out for a couple hours, go live my life, go on vacations, enjoy every day. I can still get up and talk about anything. It doesn't even matter to me. It's not like it's a chore. It's not something I dread. I can come over here, and I can come over here. If you continue to allow me to talk and stop freaking giving me strikes, I'll stop showing you. I'll stop showing you, because you already know. But the fruits of the labor, when I start seeing the ability to retire because of the work that I actually put in, well, that'll mean that it's actually working. But to pick one side or the other, I'm not going to pick a side or the other. I'm picking both sides to stop playing tricks on each other and stop trying to play tricks on anybody. Knowing the truth, well, what is truth? It's a good question, Pilot. What is truth? Because one side has the truth in their opinion. Another side may have a different truth because they want to go up here. Maybe the side that actually lived up here and came down has a different truth from their perspective from up in heaven compared to being down here on earth. It's a different truth. So what is truth? Truth is, who are you? Who are you really? Who are you and who are you? Who are you? Who's this? Who's that? Who's this and that? Or this and that? It's definitely this and definitely that. But who is this? Who's this? Now, which one of you is it? Is this Johnny Adam? Or is this Johnny Eve? If I didn't know better, I would think it's Adam because he did a video. He did say he was going to get back up. And the next video, it was about the Oreo cookies immediately. But if I didn't know better, I know how the transition happens where you gotta like blend in. It's kind of like reading the script and then looking at the camera and having another script over there and fluently looking from side to side, like just. I'm trying to learn how to do that because I catch my eyes. I'm trying to look at the camera, and my eyes are still stuck on that word because I can't remember. I can't memorize it, and then to do that takes skill. I'll learn it. I'll get it down, but I'm not going to pretend I'm not reading. I just want to be able to read fluently, whether I'm looking at the script and then looking at the script because I have this. It's this computer, and then there's my tree. Apparently, I didn't even know what I was drawing at the time. I just wanted to replace my punched-in TV from the Vegas shooting because it made me sick. As I know people were not telling the truth, and I replaced it with a tree. It looks like it's kind of like a 2-in-1 apparently, and there's some lightning striking down. And then that's connected to this one. And then this one's connected to that one. So I have my backdrop. And then I just sit here and play the piano. So I learned how to play the piano. I have my alcohol right there, that thou shalt not drink. The microphone is over here. I don't want the red thing in my face. He's hanging out with me. I'll have to introduce him after some time. Bring him in, have him talk a little bit, read some scripts, tell the news. So if I could just come in here and do my thing, and I don't have to go to work anymore, that's all I want. That's all I want. If I get a nice car in the meantime, that's fine too. I'm sure we all enjoy riding nice vehicles, don't we? No, you never had them, right? You don't live in nice houses. You never had any of that, did you? Well, I never had any of it. I never owned my own house. I always rented something. I don't own anything. Well, sort of. I own that Mustang, but not really. It's not even fully mine yet. It's nothing in this world is owned, and I still have to work for a living. And it's just no way to live, honestly. Have you guys ever had to do that? Any of you? You just had to really work hard for a living? Yeah, now. This is work, but I'm talking about physical labor. Like, did you ever have to, like, not have any money? Not the jail stories. Everything's set up, so it's not like really there, but did you ever struggle in your life? I mean, I'm not talking about wrestling with God. I'm talking about before that. Did you ever struggle where you just knew that you couldn't pay your bills and you didn't have any time in your life to enjoy it and there's nothing? Did you ever have to really go through that? I said it from the beginning. All these people need to do is start sharing. Just start sharing what you have. Why do you got to hold on to everything? What's the point? Is it greed? So when I take one side and then the other, and I'm trying to get them to get on the same page. The only reason that nobody would get on the same page is because there's a power struggle. Like, who's in charge? Who's the boss?
No one can say it didn't happen. I documented it. As a matter of fact, I did a YouTube video on it, and I documented it. And my son, when he was little, was sitting there off camera going, yeah, that's what happened. So it's been documented. So that's just a fact. I'm going to do the same thing for you here now. And I'm going to show you how it was documented. And you're going to get to see before the event happened that I documented what the Lord was telling me before it happened. Just like if I was to have said, I hear the Lord saying, go to Amy's Ice Cream. Because today I heard the Lord tell me, Jonathan, I want you to go buy a new watch. Because time is going to begin again. Threw a watch off a bridge into the ocean.
Was that you? Was that you and Corey?
Right in between twin W's. Isn't that strange? And on a bridge that's got W's when I'm the W guy.